Mary Jo was out to dinner. She wants to leave a 16% tip. D represents the original price of her meal. Write an expression that represents the total cost. So, this problem might seem overwhelming. What we do is we start with what we know. Well, she went out to dinner. She wants to leave a 16% tip. Now, if you didn't know, a tip is a little extra money. Say if you spent $20 on a meal, then you might give $24 and leave extra $4 for the server. So a tip is extra money for the server, if you didn't already know that. And let's see. We're looking to write an expression that represents the total cost. And this middle sentence where it says D represents the original price of her meal, now that might seem strange to you, but remember when I kept saying if you see a variable, ask yourself, what does it stand for? What does it represent? And this right here, it's telling you the answer to that question. D is the original price of her meal. So we know what D is, and now using that, we need to imagine D as a number and write an expression. So if you are leaving a tip, you're leaving some extra money, we can see that you are going to have a plus sign somewhere in there. And we're writing an expression for the total cost. So the total cost is going to be the original cost plus the tip, right? And we already have a variable for the original price, so we'll use that. D is the original price plus the tip. But we can do better than that, just saying tip when it comes to writing with math language, because it says we need a 16% tip. So the tip is going to be 16% of the original cost. Oh wait, I don't need to write original price. All I have to write is D. And in other words, when you see that word of means times. 16% of D is 16% times D. So I'll write with the star because we got to get used to using that instead of the X, because X is a variable sometimes. So 16% times D. Now, oftentimes, we're not going to put a percentage in the equation, so let's change it to a decimal. Change 16% to 0.16. Or if you like fractions, you could say 16 over 100, which would simplify to 4 over 25. 0.16 times D. And then really we don't need these parentheses. And if we think about it, remember when we put a variable right next to a number in dice equations, like I would write 3x or something? Well, we can do the same thing here. We're going to multiply 0.16 times D by writing 0.16 D. And that's one option for writing out the equation.